When we're talking about regulation or self-regulation, we're talking about having the ability to manage your emotions at a given time where you are able to produce the response for yourself, where you're like managing it well as by extension, the interactions that you have with others. So when you're not regulated, it doesn't always mean that you're going to be calm, like we said, and you're going to be happy and you're going to be in your good place, but you really will be in the place of presence and being able to manage whatever the situation is in a given moment. And our regulation tends to shift and it's constantly changing. It's something that, number one, we have to work on, and it's very dependent. It's based on a certain part of our brain, which is lower levels of our brain, which has to do with how we're managing our nervous system. How are we managing our stress response? Are we in fight or flight? When you manage an emotion, there's the actual feeling of it, and there's also like thoughts and things that come into play that also have to deal with our feelings and our emotions. But being able to create that shift is what self-regulating really means. And, when you're self-regulating, you need to have a lot of different pieces. You have to have that self-awareness of understanding what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Because in any given moment, you need to be able to access whatever tool you need. Some people use their physiology to self-regulate, so they'll do breath work, or they'll do yoga, or they'll do mindful practices. And for some people, they use more of a cognitive approach, which may help you regulate, or they may do something like journaling. It depends. Everyone has to pick and choose what works for them, and you may use multiple methods of self-regulating depending on where you are, or you may do multiple things in a half-hour life time span if you have that ability. But it's all to create that shift.